Hi, Capricorn. This is Jess, and welcome to your 2020 yearly tarot reading. I hope you guys are having an enjoyable day so far. So, Capricorn, for those of you who was here last year for the yearly, we're doing things a little different. We're looking at the quarters. I don't know if I did that. I think I switched it up, so I don't know if I did the same thing last year. But this year, we're doing quarterly. We're looking at a 3 month period by quarter, so 4 different quarters for the year. And let's get started with the first quarter. I have to say before we get started, though, that this will, for those of you I'm reading and picking up your energy for, you will experience this at some point. For some of you, it could be throughout the 3 months. For others of you, it could be at one day or moment in time. All of you, it will be different in how these energies kind of show up for you. So keep that in mind. If it is something, messages that aren't the most favorable, and you're anticipating it, use it as a tool to overcome or circumvent any issues that may arise. But please keep in mind that it doesn't mean that it has to be for the entirety of the time frame. Okay, and listening to this can also be a tool to divert from any unforeseen situations as much as you possibly can, right? So that being said, let's get into it. And obviously this is a general, so that may not resonate with all of you, obviously. Okay, so you're coming straight into 2020, um, really changing some things up, walking away from situations that does not serve you, and really feeling, oh my goodness, hold on, guys, hold on. Okay, I put you guys on pause. I paused the recording because I did not create a positioning for career and money matters. Okay, so I had to pull a couple of cards for that. But yeah, I do see you walking away from a situation and starting something new. This, and it's no wonder why you guys are starting the year out off with about three. Yeah, three, and even though the fourth ace came out, but it didn't come out in the spread, it kind of fell out. But it's no wonder why you have all these aces, because everything is surrounding around Capricorn. You are the star, darling. You do know that, right? You are the creme de la creme of 2020. So you need to recognize that this is your time. You get no other time like this than you do in 2020. And I think with Uranus and Taurus, you're going to have opportunities to really maximize on positive, and it may seem, tapping into those natural talents that are aching to you that you had when you first came here, expounding upon evolving as an individual and really capitalizing off of things that that you know, that you're able to do, that you understand, that you've learned, that you've curated for yourself, really evolving, probably spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but physically, materially, definitely able to grow and manifest some things on this earthly plane. So don't, take this year lightly. Definitely see where the time frames will work best for you, because we'll see as we get closer into the end of the year. But I have to tell you straight away, like I have all signs so far. I believe, and don't quote me on the dates, but I believe it's anywhere from August or September up until November, mid-November, that we're experiencing Mars in Aries in retrograde. Okay, and that is going to be quite a difficult energy, particularly for you Capricorns, because it is squaring you guys. So definitely, I would say you guys, bar none, ahead of any other sign, it is more important that you go out and check your astrology, and find out what areas of life could be affected by this, because it squares you and you have so many powerful planets in your sign. So yeah, make sure that you check up on your astrology. If you haven't done it ever before, this year would be the time to do it, to safeguard yourself, to find the right time frames to do things. Now let's get back into this first quarter, which is January, February, March 2020. Leaving things behind, setting off on a new path. For some of you, it definitely could be career matters that you're starting anew, getting the phone call. Yes, you're approved. Yes, we want you. Yes, you're hired. Yes, right. But it's kind of bittersweet. This is a bittersweet fourth quarter, because, in one side, it looks like some of you are able to release the burdens that has been challenging and plaguing you for quite some time. You may find it very difficult to get along with other people. These things are literally, it's like you blink and everything kind of becomes a little bit better. The problems that you guys faced before, those things are no longer an issue. If you have problematic situations with females, females on female, male to female, those things seem to eradicate as well. If you have been dealing with the battle of wits, and this could have been anywhere around you. I can't say really any particular area. For all of you, it'll be different. But in any area of your life, if you found it to be very challenging and problematic, especially when it has to do with people, I get male energy as well as female energy being very petty. It's just, that's the only way I can see it. The pettiness is ending. The pettiness is ending by way of you leaving or someone else leaving. But that tension, that energy is literally leaving your life, and that cycle is ending, and now you get to kind of sit back and say, okay, now where do I go? Okay. Some of you may have dealt with a loss, like literally lost somebody, but I don't feel like it's really a horrible thing. It's almost like, yeah, it's a loss, or I wish things were different, but thank God this is gone. Your home life looks really good. You may have been at a stalemate, not speaking to people, or not knowing exactly where your next steps are going to be when it comes to home life, but there's a lot of love. There's a deep connection that you have in your home, especially if you have a mate. Like, there's a lot of deep connection, and you guys are completely on the same page, and you are a team. Or there needs to be a decision made to get to that place where you feel like your oneness is, you and that person has a oneness. You're a team, and there could be a discussion of, do we travel, where do we go, making those plans, long-term plans or long distance plans between you and your mate. But home life looks very peaceful, looks very nice, and that's progressing nicely. Like I said, new job, new opportunity. So if you are interested in changing careers or evolving in your career, this is definitely the year to do it. Again, you may leave behind someone significant, something about changing the guards of employment, your own business. If you have your own business, you may become a little bit more savvy of how you progress forward with your business, what you roll out, the timing, how you communicate with people, and kind of disassociating yourself from things that hasn't been working. Again, Capricorns, you guys aren't the emotional type, so you don't typically come across to me as the types that will wallow in anything heavy for too long. It's like you take on a very unaffected, authoritative, father-like, not so much mother, that's Cancer, but even with the women, father-like energy of like, this isn't, this has to be done. It just has to be done. And so there's that. And it doesn't have to just be you. It could be news you hear that someone has to kind of move on, move along. But it is for the better. You will find that as you move throughout your first quarter into your second quarter, that you just feel more love, and you feel either you're more in control and more clear about where you are and where you stand when it comes to matters of home, career. You really feel like you have your feet on solid ground, and that you have someone there that is riding that wave with you completely. And you have love, adornment, and affection. There could be gossip around you. There could be people that are naysayers, that are talking behind your back as well. I feel like that will change, most definitely. We'll see as we get into the second quarter. But you will feel that work seems to be a lot to deal with. Some of you may not be able to engage with family and friends because you're working, or someone, a love of your life, won't be able to be around to enjoy certain things because there's work, there's other things that has to be done. But overall, whatever this challenge of burdening in other people in whatever area of life has been difficult, I definitely see that changing. I feel like men will be very much a positive, supportive vessel for you guys the first quarter. Women too, but I feel more so men. And it looks like, it literally is like a wave where you're coming into the year very challenging, not very challenging, a little challenging, just petty stuff like arguing with people and not connecting with people for the most insignificant reasons, right? But that literally changes hand. Okay, now let's get into love life. Love life, well, for you single Capricorns, I see someone coming in 100%. There's something starting between you and this person. I feel like a lot of you are in something. If you're single, you're socializing, getting to know someone from your past most definitely could be coming back, and there's a wanting to build and work on a situation. Now, I have to say, for some of you, if you're on the outs, well, I'll go into that's, I'll save that for couples. But so for you Capricorn singles, you may have left a relationship, things were not working out. Maybe someone wasn't getting along with family members and friends, or just you didn't have enough time for one another, and you've tried to make it work, but it just didn't seem like it was working. That's all the divine plan. It was supposed to, in order for you to come into this new year and kind of have a clean slate, because you will have love. I see Capricorns, I see Aries and Leos being very prominent. Some of you will certainly be with an Aries. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, some of you will certainly be with an Aries, but some of you will certainly be with a Leo. A Leo is coming out very, very strong in your reading. And I feel like we'll see as the quarters go along, but you and perhaps Leos, also water signs, wanting to work things out with them. I do feel like there's an opportunity to do that. Now, anyone that is dealing with children, custody, visitation, if there's been a problem, that will rectify and work itself out as well. You will be able to work things out with co-parenting and trying to work on that. Also, some of you may be looking at moving in, getting a property. If not now, probably in the third quarter, we'll see as we move along. But there's a wanting to work on someone wanting to build and work on a relationship with someone that you know has very strong feelings for you, who's very empathetic, who's very sweet and loving. May have a little stress at times. Maybe someone who knows how to manifest emotionally, because they're very intuitive. They're extremely physically and emotionally deep and internal. So someone could be really trying to manifest you back into their life by deep thinking. Now, when it comes to Capricorn couples, if there has been a situation where you guys have been a little problematic with your relationship, thinking about, this isn't necessarily going to work, but it has been revitalized, I feel like there's a very deep and strong commitment that is here between you and your mate. Some of you, if you're just now starting dating, now you're saying, okay, we're official, we're exclusive. This is going to turn into a marriage. This is going to turn into a long term, at least 10 years with this person. This is something that I'm not going to say long gone completely are the days of battle and issues, because no, but this first quarter, I feel, stamps a lot of energy for people this year until we get to the end of the year, and the roles will reverse. That's how I'm seeing it. Those that started out with a really great first of the year, they get stronger the next, and then it tapers down. But we'll see when it comes to your sign, your quarters. Now, like I said, I see opportunity for a new relationship, one that has a lot of deep love, and you guys can find yourself traveling a lot, spending a lot of time with this person, just extremely deep. You have someone that you know is your rock, is your solace, is your go-to person, someone who is completely affixed, right? Unmoved. This is someone that is you can count on, that's very loyal and devoted to you. And there's a lot of love and romanticism that comes along, and there's a lot of passion that the two of you share. And I feel like your family gets along. So if they have, a major amount of family, you do. The family may have recently gotten together for festivities. You've gotten gifts, and all seems so good with the world when it comes to your life first 3 months of 2020. I have to say, it looks really good. And I was going to also say, for you couples, if you're dealing with a Sagittarius or Leo, and there has been any issues of problems, and as for some of you, a mother or sisters or family members or external female energy could have been problematic, there's an opportunity to work this out. I do believe they want to, and there's certainly, I feel like for some of you dealing with Leos, you're going to say, listen, I don't care what anyone thinks. I don't care what anyone says. I love this person. I'm going to be with this person. When it comes to Sagittariuses, it's more of you have to kind of stand up for that person. But if you're with either of those signs, couple Capricorns, this can be also for you singles that happen to meet one of those signs, know that there's an opportunity to really evolve in that relationship. But it, takes commitment and knowing that whatever problems you first felt or dealt with that sign, with either your family, their family, friends, whatever, it'll subside. So don't allow the initial instability, or challenge to run you off or to dissuade you, which is not typically a Capricorn, and hopefully they won't either. Looks like I said, looks like a Leo is here to stay, but a Sagittarius, we'll see as we go further along. But I just wanted to give that message. So that's what we have in the first quarter. Now let's look at your second quarter. To continue on with the video, click the link in the description box below.